So it really blows my mind when I talk to people and they come up to me and they're like, hey, Brad, what should I be buying? What are you investing in? Things like that. And I start with the Roth IRA and they don't have a Roth IRA. It just blows my mind. The first thing that anybody should be thinking about when investing is the Roth IRA, in my opinion. And this video, I'm going to give a couple reasons why. And I'm also going to show you my entire Roth IRA valued at a little over $30,000. If I made this video a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, it probably would have been closer to 35. But guys, if you don't have a Roth IRA, you need to watch this video and you need to understand certain things about it that just make it one of the best investing vehicles there is, frankly. If you live in the United States, you need to be taking advantage of the Roth IRA. So just a real quick recap of the Roth IRA. Maybe you'll learn something about it. Maybe you are completely new to it. It's a tax advantage retirement account here in the United States. And what I mean by tax advantage, we know we have tax deferred 403b, 401k, 457, where we put money in before tax, it grows, and then we pay tax on the way out. The Roth IRA is the opposite, okay? It is a post-tax contribution, meaning we make the money, we pay the taxes, and then we put the money into the Roth IRA, and it grows tax-free for the whole lifetime of that investment, meaning that when you get to 59 and a half years old, you will not pay any tax on any growth, dividends, premiums, anything that thing makes tax-free. One of the major defenses I hear from people against it is that they don't want to wait till they're 59 and a half. Guys, there's a difference between your contribution and your growth, your capital gains. You could take your contributions back at any time you want. You put $6,000 in this year and you need $6,000 next year, you can take that out without penalty. It's just the growth and any dividends that you accrue that you cannot take out. And they have a bunch of different rules and taking money out. For example, if you're a first-time home buyer, you could take money out. You have to pay taxes on the growth, but you won't be penalized. But all of these things work in your favor. Not to mention, this goes on and on and on. I did make a full video about the Roth, but when you pass away, it goes to your beneficiaries tax-free as well. They get to take that, and this creates generational wealth. And I just can't get over why people don't do it. It frustrates the living hell out of me. The next defense I hear about it is the income limit. Guys, I'm over the income limit for the Roth IRA. I do a backdoor Roth. Okay, I made a video about the backdoor Roth. If you are over the income limit, do the backdoor Roth and get your money in there. The other restriction, guys, is that you have to have earned income, and it could be at any age, right? So if you are 16 years old and you're one of my high school students, you can't open a Robinhood account and start investing inside of it. But if you have a job at Ralph's Italian Ices and you're making some sort of money, you are allowed to contribute the amount of money that you make and pay taxes on. So if you make $1,000 a year at Ralph's, you could take $250 and put that into a Roth IRA at any age. My 1.5-year-old and my 3-year-old have a Roth IRA, and I pay them through my business. They have a salary. And with the contribution right now being $6,000, that's probably going to change in the next year or so. It is a manageable amount of money. It's $500 a month, but you do not need to max it to contribute to it, all right? We don't need to think, oh, well, I don't have $6,000 a year. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to YOLO on Dogecoin and Robinhood. Like, I just don't understand that mentality. Or I'm broke. I can't invest into my Roth IRA $75 a month, but I'll go out drinking and eating with my boys and I'll rack up a $150 bar tab. All right, we need to change this mindset if we want to start to gain control of our personal finance. Let's take a look at my Roth IRA. Remembering, guys, the Roth IRA is not an investment. Like, you don't buy a Roth IRA. You open a Roth IRA just like you'd open a bank account, and then it sits there naked. It does nothing, absolutely nothing. You make investments inside of that Roth IRA. So you're going to open a Roth IRA. Mine's with Vanguard. It doesn't matter where you open one. M1 Finance has them now if you like the app scene. Any major brokerage account or any major company is going to have access to the Roth IRA. So mine's with Vanguard. That's just who I got into. I read The Simple Path to Wealth, and I just wanted to get into that. So once you open that Roth IRA, you are now going to make your contributions into it. Now, people ask me, like, Brad, this is a great place to have REITs because they're tax different. The dividends are tax different. Or this is a great place to do the wheel strategy because the premiums won't be taxed later on. Those are all great things, and I want to show you if I'm personally taking advantage of that. I want full transparency here. I'm going to show you every single Roth IRA contribution I've ever made. Before I do that, I just want to touch upon a major mistake that I've seen happen throughout the years that I do not want you to make because it is a nightmare of a mistake. When you open a Roth IRA, it is going to come with something called a settlement fund, okay? And essentially what that is it is a middleman between your bank and the investments that you want to make inside your Roth IRA. It's essentially like a savings account inside the Roth. When you move money from your bank into the Roth IRA, it is going to go to that settlement fund first. That is not an investment. It gets the same interest as pretty much your savings account at the bank. You must then move the money from your settlement account into your investments. I've heard so many times, and I'm sure people leave in the comments they've done the same, where they put money into their Roth IRA thinking they're investing and they're not. And they come back years later and realize it's just been sitting in a savings account getting 0.01% interest. Here's another age-old question I get. Should we be investing in the Roth IRA while we're paying off debt? When I was paying off debt, my answer immediately was no. I was like, I'm shutting off all my investments while I pay off debt. But now I know the time sensitivity, meaning once the year goes by, you can't invest in it any longer. I think there's at least a place to start putting some in. I don't know if I'd max it while paying off debt, but you definitely want to take advantage of that time situation where you get to invest every single year and there's a fixed amount every single year as well. All right, guys, so here is a look at all of the buys and dividends. Guys, my entire Roth IRA is VTSAX. Now, the reason for that is this is a foundation for me. This is a very, very small percentage of my net worth. This is really something I hope to never touch and pay down to my kids and give down to my kids when I pass away. It's just tax-free growth. This is my generational wealth. I don't want to look at it. I literally haven't looked at it since the first of the year or whatever day it was that I invested into it this year. I think I didn't get into about February this year. But I do not look at it at all. And that's why I don't trade options in it. And that's why I don't have stocks in it. This is a set it and forget it. This is a retirement account. I don't care about the daily fluctuations. I don't care about anything. I just want the total stock market index fund to at least give me some sort of foundation and blanket for when I get to 59 and a half and I can start to make some moves. And we can see in just a couple years, $30,000 that's accrued in there and the amount of capital gains, it's doing pretty well. The first contribution I made here, March 12th, 2019, I became debt-free in September of 2019 after paying about $190,000 worth of debt off. I knew I was going to become debt-free in that year, and I also knew and I found out that you can contribute to the Roth IRA for the previous year up until tax day. So tax day was April 15th of 2019. This was actually considered a 2018 contribution because you have up until you pay taxes. So right away, I got $5,550, which was the max in 2018, and that immediately got me a dividend of $30. Then in 2019, I just started to contribute here and there throughout the entire year to make sure that I got to the max. I also found out during this year that I'd reached the income limit. All I had to do was call Vanguard. They helped me sort it out. I got the money out of the account. I paid taxes and things like that on the growth, and it was very, very easy. I just called them. People get stressed out. Oh my God, I found out in the middle of the year that I was going to go over the income. That's fine. It's not like you don't need to predetermine this. You could put money in, then realize you're over the limit and you could take money out. But I maxed it in 2019, all VTSAX. 2020, pretty much got to the end of the year, was able to max it then. And then this year was the first one right in the beginning of February. I was able to just invest right away. This 1 cent was just a carryover. So don't worry about that 1 cent Vanguard. We took care of it. I actually paid a penalty on that over withdrawal of 1 cent. And I just got my biggest dividend ever of $94. And I did some quick math, guys, over that term, okay? The amount of dividends I received is $496. So about $100 per year. I don't really need to worry about, like, I don't know, people are like, oh, get the REITs in there. Yeah, you could do it. Like I said, I explained why I don't have anything in there besides VTSAX. But still, $500 in dividends, $100 a year right now, and that continues to grow. You know, you could see it go from 56 up to 49, then 61, and 85. With this year, pretty much it jumps at $30 every single quarter, every single year I contribute. So also really, so essentially just 2019, 20, so in 2 years and change, we could see that I have now total gains of $7,000. Okay, so I've contributed $23,642. I know that's not a round number. Like I explained, I had to pay some taxes and things on the growth when I realized I went over the income limit. But right now, total gains $7,020 in pretty much 3 years. That is awesome for me, and I know that that money is tax free. Guys, it really is such an amazing vehicle. If you have any questions about it, please get down in the comments below. Tell me your favorite thing about the Roth IRA, or tell me why you hate it. I would love to hear why people do not like it down in the comments below. I'm open to the conversation. Maybe there's something I'm missing. And until I see you guys on the next one, stay positive, work really, really hard always. Please be kind to other people. Hope you have yourself an amazing day and an even better tomorrow.